Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero and welcome back to Prince of Tennis 2005 Crystal Drive. So, we're here in the Open Cup singles. This is actually going to be the semi-finals of this tournament. It's a rather strange tournament because we're taking on a bunch of random opponents. In the first round we took on Tachibana Ann, who's the sister of the famous Tachibana, who's quote-unquote rivals to Tezuka, even though I don't really see him that way because he plays like maybe one match in the series. But then after that we took on, I believe her name is like Riku. I don't really remember what her name is because she's a really unimportant character, but she's basically just the love interest for Ryoma. And I feel kind of weird saying love interest because it's not like there's a love story between them. She just wants Ryoma really badly. But Ryoma is a cocky prick and only really cares about himself, so he doesn't really notice her whatsoever. So, you know, we ended up crushing her dreams. Kisihara here is becoming the Poon Killer on his way to meeting his brother. And now we're actually facing off against the coach of the Kyoto team. I don't remember his name. He has a good coach ability in this game. Playing wise, he's not that great. I thought he would have been sort of a lot better stats wise, or maybe, but I don't know. He doesn't really seem to be that great. I thought he was like maybe a lot of coaches who were previously players. So when they actually get to play, they're actually, you know, okay, even though they're older, they may not be the best, or maybe they have an injury, but they, you know, they still play relatively well. He seems to be more of the type that kind of just studied up on a lot of tennis and just happens to know a lot of tennis, but hasn't particularly played a lot of tennis because he just plays okay, which is kind of weird. I never really liked those kind of coaches, like, you know, in like high school, or I guess not particularly high school, just in general, any sort of gym class. Where you have like these sort of gym instructors or gym teachers or whatever, and they're like, I won't say fat particularly, but they're just not in good shape, and it just feels really sort of contradictory that these people that are supposed to teach you physical fitness, or at least involve you in physical fitness for like half an hour, however long that class may be, they themselves are not physically fit. Just doesn't seem right, you know. It's almost like applying for a job or having a job, but you're not able to do said job, like, you know, not being qualified for that job, or, you know, being Donald Trump as president. You know, those kinds of things. They're just not right. But I mean, I guess in tennis, or rather being a tennis coach, it's kind of different. You don't really necessarily get to involve, especially with Kyoto, who has a massive 200-something member team. I'm sure that a school with that sort of size has more than enough of a budget, at the very least, to hire actual trainers, where the coach is just sort of more of a managerial position, doesn't really do too much in terms of like actually coaching his players, as he more just sort of foresees the activities of the club. That's what I kind of see it as. But let's say that maybe he decided, like, no, it's about time I joined up with my fellow club mates, and I started playing some tennis. I did some good, so he prepped up, you know, got into shape. He's like maybe 40 or something like that. He got into shape in between his job, and then he saw this Open Cup signal. He's like, oh, it's a tournament for new and up-and-coming tennis players. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna join this tournament and I'm gonna have a great time because I'm gonna play against guys that are, you know, not the greatest level. Maybe they're even older than me, or around my age, or even way younger, but they're just not, you know, amazing players. So I can actually play this, get some confidence, and if I win or lose, it doesn't matter because I have a great time. And he makes it all the way to the semifinals, and fucking Kisihara comes here and drops, you know, the Poon Killer title, and he just becomes a dream killer, and he just completely comes in and obliterates his poor-man soul. Like, he just comes in and is like, oh, this should be a fun match. Nah, you got a fucking acrobatic, flip-flopping tennis player over here just wrecking this guy's shit, smashing all over his face, being all cocky and shit. I don't even think I've used a special on him yet. So that says a lot. He gets some nice shots in, especially in, like, you know, return aces and stuff like that. I'm sure he learned that from Jiro and whatnot, but it's not enough, man. Poor coach guy is just like, oh, man, fuck this. This is why I don't fucking play this shit. I got a nice mash in, but like, I can't even like, get any more than that. I mean, to be fair, fuck him. Who does he think he is joining a, you know, official, or maybe not so much official, but it's official. I mean like, it's not official and like, it's not like, you know, USCA official, but it's like an official tournament. There's like, you know, it's put together and whatever. But he comes in a suit. Like, what a cocky ass. What kind of a cocky asshole do you have to be to show up to a tennis tournament in a suit and then use super mode as soon as I use super mode? Fuck out of here with that shit. Fucking no stamina having ass old man. Watch, his super mode is gonna run out in like half a point. Like, this point is not even gonna be finished and it's already gone. Look at that, it's gone. Like, bro. Whatever. I figured I'd have a little bit more fun with these episodes, since these are pretty quick, and I'm sort of just blowing through them. I figured it would be great to sort of get out any sort of like pent up, sort of anything that I've had after going through that hellacious, national doubles fucking tournament where every episode was an hour fucking long. Like, not only that, I had to play sometimes 2+ hours, but then I also after that had to record an hour and, you know, edit and render stuff. Just because at the time when I recorded it was like New Year's or Christmas or something, so there was music blasting, but I still wanted to get some work done. So I figured I'd do that, or rather I'd do this, I should say. Just because Prince of Tennis is something I typically record post-com, just because, see, now I'm just here fucking around. I almost got fucking aced for fucking around. But yeah, Prince of Tennis is something I usually just do post, just because I like sort of having discussions about stuff that sort of comes to my head. But I also kind of want to start doing it live. I sort of go back and forth. I did this with Jumpstars recently. I was doing that not live. I was doing it post, and that's because I was messing around with the format because I wanted it to be something sort of bigger than what it was. Rather than just being sort of me playing a game and having fun, I wanted it to be sort of something where I have a conversation about the series that I mentioned in the game, and, you know, my thoughts and all this other really unnecessary things. When I was just like, you know what, this is a lot of work. It's not worth it in any way, shape, or form. So I kind of just dropped that, and I'm just going back to the live format, which is great because it's reinvigorated my love for that game and just in general recording it. But also in addition to that, it's just so much easier, you know? Whereas in this game, I can kind of do it both ways. I can record and post and talk about stuff. I have no problem doing that. I can go back and forth between talking about tennis. Sorry, I know I tend to not talk about the game too much. I promise that when we get into the next series tournament, I'll talk a little bit more about actual tennis, or at least the tennis that's going on in the screen. I try to do that at least. But if I were to talk about it talk about it with live commentary, it's not really that big of an issue because it's sort of tennis and it's, you know, this game that I played so much, so it's kind of like second nature to me. It's one of those things where I can easily talk and play. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and fucking crush this dude's dream real quick, and we're done. Get off my court. Don't ever come back. You're never gonna be able to play tennis ever again. You're a disgrace to your entire team. Alright, I'm sorry. You're still cool. So yeah, that was a pretty lackluster game, but I can't really expect much for some 40-year-old guy that just wants to play some tennis for fun. Well, just have to crush his dreams. Stay fresh.
俺にもテニスを教えてくんない？